Hello, class. Mrs. Lacefield again. Today, we are going to talk about comparing and contrasting. This helps us with our reading comprehension, which means it helps us understand what we're reading. So when we compare and contrast something, that means we're going to look at the things that are the same, which is what compare means, and we're going to look at things that are different, which is what contrast means. Okay, a lot of times when people talk about comparing and contrasting, you'll see a graphic organizer, which is just kind of like a picture, called a Venn diagram. Okay, it looks like this. You have one circle, or as close to a circle as you can get, and then you've got another circle, and they cross at the center. So when we have a Venn diagram, this is how you fill it out. The two parts that are on the outside right here, these are the things that are different between the two characters, two settings, two stories, whatever it is. So the two things that you're comparing, these are the things that are different. And you list as many things as you can think as that are different. Okay. And then the center right here, this little part where it overlaps, these are the things that are the same. So when you're comparing and contrasting something, you're going to compare the things that are the same right here. And you're going to write down as many as you can think of. Now you can see I don't have a lot of room for this when I'm writing. Usually we would want to write in complete sentences. I will do that the best I can, but if I run out of room, I'll show you how I'm going to abbreviate. Okay? So we have two things that we're going to compare and contrast today. I've got my friends here to help. This is Petey, the pirate parrot puppet. Try to say that 10 times fast. Okay. I use Petey when I am teaching online to the kids in China. So I teach Chinese kids English in the mornings, and I use Petey to help me teach them. So you can see his mouth moves, and he's pretty cool. He's very, very colorful. He helps me out a lot. My other friend that's going to help is this duck. The duck's name is Ducky. Very, very original name. This little stuffed duck, or big stuffed duck, he's kind of big, was my little sister's favorite toy when she was growing up. So he's kind of old. He's not quite as white as he used to be. But we're going to be comparing and contrasting these two toys. Okay, so we've got Petey, we've got Ducky. So let me show you what we're going to do for this. So first of all, on my Venn diagram, I'm going to label what the sides are. So this side will be Ducky. So I'm going to write his name. Oops. So, oh, let's get that a little bit better. D-U-C-K-Y. Ducky. This side will be Petey the parrot. So Petey is spelled P-E-T-E-Y. Okay? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down the things that are different on each side. So first we'll look at Ducky. Let me see if I can get Ducky right here. Oh, I want to have you be able to see him. Here we go, right? Yeah, you're not going to be able to see him very well. Okay, so Ducky, first of all, we can see what kind of bird is he. He is a duck. So he is a duck, right? Which is different than Petey because Petey's not a duck. And by the way, my little sister, she's the one who made Ducky a he. So that's just what I've kept. So he's a duck. Let's see. What color is he? He is white and yellow with no other colors except for his eyes. His eyes are black. Um, and that's different than Petey, right? Petey is not just white and yellow. So he is white, yellow, and black. And I hope that you can read this. A way that you can keep things a little bit more organized when you're doing Venn diagrams is right before you start writing, just put a little dot. These little dots are called bullet points. They help you see the different points that you're making. So he's a duck, he's white, yellow, and black, right? He's kind of big, like he's the biggest stuffed toy we had growing up. So he's large. He's large. Period. Remember, I'm putting punctuation at the end of each. You might not be able to see my punctuation up there, but I've got it there. Now let's see, what's something else that's different than Petey? right? He is not a puppet. So he's not a puppet. And he is very old, right? My little sister now, she's about 26 years old. So if she got him when she was 3, that means he's old, right? He's an old little dude. Look at him. So I'm going to put that he's old. All right. So now we're going to let Ducky go back here for a second. We're going to look at Petey, right? So here's Petey, the pirate parrot puppet. So I'm going to look at what I wrote before about Ducky. I'm going to write the same kind of thing about Petey. So if Ducky's a duck, what is Petey? Petey's a parrot. So I'm going to put that. He is a parrot. Is a parrot. Oh, and by the way, Petey came with his name when I bought him. And Petey's a boy's name. I don't know of any girls named Petey. If you know of any girls named Petey, let me know and maybe I'll have him be a girl. I don't know. So, first I put he's a parrot because Ducky was a duck, Petey's a parrot. Now we're going to look at his color. So, if Ducky was white, yellow, and black, Petey is very, very colorful. He's got red, blue, pink, orange, a different kind of blue, white, green, yellow. So he's all colorful. So I'm just going to put, instead of listing every single individual color, which you could do if you want to, I'm going to put a little bullet point, put he is very colorful. Then after, if Ducky was large, I wouldn't necessarily call Petey small, right? He's not tiny. He's not like, I've got these little guys I might use sometimes. These guys are small. They're little finger puppets. But Petey, he's about medium sized. So I'm going to say he's medium sized. He's medium hyphen sized. Okay. And if Ducky was not a puppet, Petey is a puppet, right? He is a puppet. And then last one, Ducky was old, and Petey, I've had him for almost 3 years, but still, he's not old like Ducky is. So I'm going to say, I don't know if I should call him young because he's a toy, but I'm going to say he's newer because I think that would be the best way to describe him. So he's newer. He's newer, just like that. Okay. So you can see that when I have already written down as much as I can think about for Ducky, it's pretty easy for me to write things down about Petey because I just look at what Petey is in that same category, right? So what kind of bird he was, what color he was, how big he was, what they are, and then how new or how old they are, right? So once I get one side filled out for the contrasting, right, the things that are different, then it's easy to see the other side. Okay, now the center part. And the center part, I gotta be honest with you, center part's the hardest part to write in. It's not the hardest part to figure out. It's the hardest part to write because, see, not very much space. So what I'm going to do is to save myself some space is I'm going to turn it this way and write this way so I can try to get full sentences. You will have an assignment where you do this. I'm going to try to give you as much space as I can in the center, and you're going to be typing it up. So you should be able to make things bigger and smaller, but we'll look at that in just a minute, okay? So when I've got both of these guys, right? Ducky's duck, Petey's a parrot, but they're both kinds of birds, right? So they, oh goodness, I don't have a lot of space. Both are birds. And if I could, I would write that out completely. I am abbreviating it. So not complete sentences. I apologize for that, but just know if I had more space, I would write in complete sentences. Okay? So they're both birds. They're both also toys, right? So they're both toys. I'm just going to put toys so I can have more room. But I would actually type out or write out, depending on if I'm typing or writing, they are both toys. Okay? They're both, you can't see that, but I think that you could kind of look, like Petey is super, super soft. He's just a very, very soft toy. And Ducky still is surprisingly soft for being 23 years old. He was very soft when we were little. That's why he was my sister's favorite. So they're both very soft. I could put soft and fluffy because they're pretty fluffy, especially Ducky. Right? Soft, fluffy. And then I don't have much room, but one more thing I would put is that they both help me when I teach, right? So let me see if I can draw a little arrow. Draw a little arrow right here. So help me teach. Okay. Now there might be some other things I could think of. Like if I want to, I could put they both have eyes. They both have wings, right? They both have tail feathers. But that's basically already covered by me saying they are both birds, right? We know that birds in general have eyes. We know that birds in general have wings. We know that birds in general have tail feathers, right? So if I've said something and it covers other things like they are birds, I don't need to go and list all of those things, right? Okay, so in just a moment, when I've got this posted to Google Classroom and you're done watching this video, if you have any questions, you can post questions and I will answer them the best I can. I might answer them back in another video if there's enough questions, or I'll just write back to you, okay? All right, so what you're going to do now is you're going to watch the two videos I'm going to post. They're both read alouds from some fun stories. Most of you guys know the traditional story of the Three Little Pigs. We've talked about it in class. We've used it when we've done lessons, right? We've even looked at the true story of the Three Little Pigs. But we're going to listen to two different stories today. So one is called The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig, and you can imagine how that will be different than the regular story. And then the second one is called The Three Ninja Pigs. So they're both different takes on the classic story of the Three Little Pigs. If you haven't heard the story of Three Little Pigs before, that's okay. You don't need to know the original story for what you're doing. So what you'll do is you'll listen to both of those stories. Hey, you can listen to one day, one another day. It's okay. This doesn't have to all be done today. This should be done by the end of the week. Um, so you listen to the stories and you're going to fill out a Venn diagram. Now remember, Venn diagram, outsides, the things that are different. So this is the contrasting points. Things on the inside, the things that are the same. So the things that are the same for the story. Okay, we're looking at the story in general, not just the characters. So please listen to those stories, fill out the Venn diagram, and I'm also going to add a bonus assignment on there if you would like to do it. Now, the last assignment is optional. Remember, optional means that if you would like to do it, if you have time to do it, please do it because I think you'll have a good time. But if you don't have time to do it, if you don't want to do it, that last one, you don't have to. And I'm going to even write in there optional so you know which one I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to add some Google Slides on there and you can create your own version of the Three Little Pigs. So I know there will be some kids in class that they would love to do like the Three Little Cats and the Big Bad Rat. I don't know, something like that. Or they do the Three Little and then like a Pokemon, you know, Three Little Spider-Mans and the Big Bad, who's a Spider-Man's? Spider-Man's I don't know, the person he fights against. You know, you could do something like that if you would like. That one's optional. All right. So please make sure that you comment any questions that you have. Keep watching for videos. I'm going to do a review on area. And like I said, we're going to do some fun science stuff. So please give me any requests for fun things that you want to see. And maybe some different stories that you would like me to use for these units. But it's great talking to you guys. I miss you all. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you later.